It's just such a high-speed, million miles an hour current of a play. So once you jump in, it's just all of a sudden it's over. So there's almost no time to break or think about being terrible.
Hi, I'm Emily Grace Tucker, and I am here at Sardi's with Broadway World to talk to Betty Gilpin about her Broadway debut in Oh, Mary.
Well, I, like everyone in New York, rushed to see it at the Lortel when it was downtown because we thought, oh, this special, incredible, once-in-a-lifetime thing is only going to be at this little theater for so long. We all have to see it. And then, of course, now it's been running for a year and is now on Broadway, and so incredible. And I, like everyone, laughed harder than I ever had in a theater, but also felt this reverence for Cole and what was happening on stage, that it is a very rare thing that happens in Oh, Mary, that Cole has reached into their brain and soul and pulled out this demented, hidden opus, and it was an honor to behold. And now, getting to play Mary myself, I cannot believe it. The offer came out of the sky, which is not the way that my career usually goes. I was doing a miniseries about President James Garfield, who was a different president who was assassinated in the 1800s, and I was playing the first lady to him. And I was literally
very meta
in an Oval Office set, in a bustle, dressed as the first lady, just sitting, waiting for, something to be ready, and across from a Lincoln bust. And my phone, I got a text from my agent saying, there's a possibility that they would want you to come in for Mary and Oh, Mary. And I started totally sobbing.
That's amazing. So did you go in and audition after that? What was that process like?
No, I didn't audition, which is not, I don't know what they're thinking or what is happening. So, it was, I'm just so excited.
That's amazing. Okay. So in the rehearsal process, currently you're about a week out, right?
Yeah.
So how are you feeling? A week out. Oh, just a 2-week put in.
Yeah.
So quick. Yeah. How have you been learning? You must have started before 2 weeks.
Yes. Yeah. I've really been disturbing my children by doing Oh, Mary over and over and over again in our living room to my toddler and baby. And they've been looking at me like, mumbling it. It's not appropriate for children, of course. It's me and Philip James Brannon and Chris Renfro are the three newbies in this production, or this round. And we all walked in off book and holding hands and jumping into this tidal wave of insanity.
It's probably nice to have two other people that are also learning the show at the same time.
Yes, yeah. And we're all just so happy to be there, and just so honored to experience such stupid joy every single day.
Yeah. Now, this is not your first play, but it is your first Broadway play, correct? Technically your Broadway debut.
Yes.
That's incredible. Is this something you've been picturing for a long time? Was this a childhood dream of yours? Talk to us a little bit about what it means to be making your Broadway debut.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, Sardi's is somewhere that, as a theater nerd growing up, I would demand to have my birthday here. My mom would take me and we'd go to Joe Allen's as well. And I of course, it was my dream forever. And then I kind of just let the dream go. And I called my dad when I got the part. And both my parents are and were actors when I was growing up and did theater. And I called my dad to tell him, and he said, "What theater is it at?" And I said, "The Lyceum." And there was a pause on the phone. And he said, "I made my Broadway debut at the Lyceum as an understudy in 1978, and I went on one time." So a week from today, next Tuesday, when I am in the wings about to pass out from nerves, I will think about my dad in the exact same spot. And one of my best friends, Kristen Milioti, went on one time as an understudy in the Lyceum. So I'm just going to try and channel the people I love who have almost thrown up and passed out in that very spot where I will in 1 week.
Wow, that's a very, so special, so serendipitous, and so unique to you and the timing of all of this. That's so very cool. speaking of like nerves, you're talking about like not wanting to throw up in the wings and nerves. How do you, as a performer personally, brain space, where's your brain space at? How are you doing? Is your brain so full? And how do you personally, as someone who's been in this business for a very long time and been so successful, still get nervous? And how do you deal with it?
I definitely still get nervous, and I'm definitely super terrified, but I'm also sort of on parallel tracks of I've never been more scared, and I've also never been more excited about something. So I'm going to try and lean that way. But also, Cole has written such, albeit silly and ridiculous, the play is beautiful, and the bones of it are so strong, and it is ultimately about someone, without spoiling anything, someone who is given a chance and really wants their chance. And I'm just going to try and let the play be this meta experience where I'm getting a chance.
Yeah. How do you keep yourself from breaking? I think that would be the hardest part for me as someone who has seen it and you're just cracking up the entire time. Even when you're in it, it's still hysterical material. How do you keep yourself from breaking constantly?
Yeah, well, we're trying to treat it like it's Hamlet, honestly, and let the audience experience a comedy. I mean, it's Hamlet with pratfalls, I guess, and rubber chickens, metaphorical rubber chickens. But yeah, and also the play, it's just such a high-speed, million miles an hour current of a play. So once you jump in, it's just all of a sudden it's over. So there's almost no time to break or think about being terrible.